Is it worth it to play official classic hardcore? I've now played this for a couple of weeks and felt like it was time to also share my opinion and make a review. So at the launch day, the release actually went pretty well. I mean, we could play immediately, and they had added so many layers that you could also kill enemies without having to wait 10 or 20 minutes for a single kill. Because they had added so many layers, then you didn't have a single server with, for example, 10,000 people in the same starting zone. Or well, you probably had, but they were spread across many layers. Therefore, there wasn't lag spikes and also disconnects happening every single minute. However, for some reason they didn't change the respawn rate at the launch day. So the respawn times were so slow compared to all the people waiting for the same specific enemy. Therefore, in the starting zones, it was actually quite difficult to also complete the different quests. However, this was only during the first couple of hours, because they actually fixed this quite quickly, and now it was a lot easier to also start questing. What I quickly discovered was that it was a lot of fun to actually group up with people again. Yeah, I did this back in the original classic, but as you probably remember, then all of a sudden it was a lot faster just to get boosted by a mage all the way up to 60. And because this was the meta and also the fastest way, well then you never really met anyone in the open world. So the world felt so empty and it didn't really feel like an MMORPG. Instead, just a single player game where you had to get to max level. The good thing is that Blizzard has also reduced the experience you grant if someone is a higher level in a dungeon. Therefore, boosting will never really be the meta in hardcore, and yeah, the game will continue to feel alive. That's a really positive thing, and I guess in a couple of months from now, the game will still feel alive. Simply because there's only 2 servers for each region, and they're also slowly reducing the amount of layers on each server. So all of a sudden, if there's actually a decrease in players, then they can just reduce the layers and now you'll still continue to see many people. One thing I've also noticed in hardcore is that the player base seems to be a lot more friendly. Well, at least in the guild that I were in, people were helping each other, trading green items for free, just because they knew it would actually benefit the other player. Before I started this hardcore journey, I was actually a bit afraid that I would meet many people who would not like to group up together, but this is definitely not the case, because it has never been as easy to find a group for a dungeon or a specific elite quest. For example, when I did this elite quest with these other 4 people, it felt like a big achievement when we actually succeeded and none of us died. If you're playing hardcore yourself, then you might understand the kind of feeling that I'm trying to explain. If you haven't played hardcore yet, well then this is one of the reasons I would highly recommend you to try it out. Another big benefit of hardcore is that you don't have to get to max level to enjoy the game. No, every single level, every single quest and dungeon will actually feel like a milestone on your way to max level. So yeah, it's not really gonna be about reaching 60 as fast as possible, it's more gonna be about enjoying the journey. And this is why I've also enjoyed hardcore so much, because I didn't feel like I had to rush and get to 60 as fast as possible to, for example, min-max, but also join the best possible guild. No, I can enjoy leveling up professions, meeting people in the open world, and yeah, getting some good reputation in my guild. And when I reached level 60 on my mage, I was of course so relieved and also happy that I completed the achievement of getting to max level without dying. But I was also so excited to start a new class, because I actually enjoyed leveling for a change. And the next character I will level, I'll do many more things on, because I know I've actually completed the challenge of getting a character to 60, so this will not really be the focus point. No, it will more be about building up a friendship to many different players on the server, continuing to leveling up my professions as I level up my character, and overall just have even more fun. I know some of you might dislike the auction house and trade system being available in hardcore, but for a player that actually likes to make my gold this way, then it has been such a huge benefit and something I really enjoyed. And also because it made me able to interact with more players in the open world. So yeah, the game felt even more alive because of this. The next topic on this list is botting, but also hacking. And overall, I haven't seen many people do this. In fact, it has been down to around 10 people or less, so that's a really good thing. And remember, in hardcore, well, if the bot dies, it also has to start again. So what I did myself was simply just to take action and try to kill one of these bots as I was leveling up my own mage. So for me, it has been a really good experience so far, but I would like to know your experience in hardcore. Have you seen many bots or even hackers? And this is also the same case with different griefers. I haven't met anyone yet between level 1 to 60 that has, for example, pulled an elite to my location to get me killed. Another good sign is that pretty much 3 weeks after the launch, the servers are still completely healthy. In fact, Stitches has a queue during the evenings, so this is a good sign, so hardcore will probably not die anytime soon. I do however play on the other server, and yeah, it's also completely healthy. I just don't want to have queue times when I would like to play during the evening. And this is how Nick Rush looks like on Horde at 8:30 PM on a Thursday. So if you would like to level up with someone else, then I guess it won't be that difficult to find a leveling partner. Now that I've already talked about so many good things about hardcore, is there any negative things? In my opinion, there's one big thing, and that is definitely that we can't really PvP. Yeah, you can go to Stranglethorn Vale and try to kill someone inside the arena or duel to the death. But then again, you only get a trophy from these duels. Imagine if you could go to an area, for example a battleground, kill another player or just win a duel to the death, and the player who won the duel would be able to pick an item from the player that just killed, so some kind of other reward beside just a trophy. Implementing something like this would probably also encourage more players to do duel to the death, and no, I'm not talking about low level players that we see all the time in the starting zones. Another big topic would definitely be to talk about disconnecting. But then again, when you create your character, you kinda also agree that if you die to a disconnect and other things, then you just have to deal with it. So if I had to rate hardcore on a scale from 0 to 10, then I would definitely place it at a solid 8. I believe there's so many things that actually encourage the player to also play this game with someone else. For example, grouping up for difficult quests, doing dungeons and many other things. What I like the most is that in hardcore I actually get the original vanilla feeling. This was the feeling I was hoping to also experience in original WoW Classic 2019, but a mistake I did in Classic was that I rushed to 60 to try to enjoy the endgame, rather than actually enjoying the journey all the way up to 60, where I worked on professions, making new friends, yeah, even getting into a guild, where I could for example also do dungeons with them. So all the things I should probably have enjoyed in WoW Classic, well, those are skipped because I was rushing the game. Therefore, I'm also so glad that I did decide to also give hardcore a try. I've not had this much fun in the game in probably 10 years. Yeah, this is actually no bullshit. I don't know why, but I enjoy the leveling and I enjoy every single aspect of the game, as long as I don't disconnect. Another main reason might be because I don't have to get to level 60 and then I just have to raid luck, get the best possible gear to do the most damage. No, I could log in right now and actually enjoy the game. So I guess this is actually why I also enjoy hardcore. I can enjoy the game whenever I would like to. So what kind of things do you like or maybe even dislike about hardcore? Let me know this in a comment below the video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and for more hardcore guides, make sure to subscribe or check out the channel.